Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's now day 3. I've woken up. I'm not going to lie, I didn't have a great night's sleep. After a hair transplant, I don't suppose you're really supposed to have a great night's sleep because you're supposed to lie on your back with your neck pillow and sort of stay alert, so you just come in and out of sleep rather than getting into a deep sleep. I've had about 4 or 5 hours sleep. I've just been brought breakfast in bed, which was really nice, and I'm now going to go downstairs and have my first wash, which I'll try and get someone to video as well. So yeah, I'll just show you the top area before I go. I've taken a picture of the back of the bandage. There's a slight bit of blood on the back. That's completely normal. I remember last year the whole bandage was covered with blood. This year it's just a tiny little patch, so that shouldn't be a problem. What's going on YouTube? I'm now back in London. I'm 10 days post surgery and I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better. So there's a couple of things I forgot to mention during the previous 2 videos. First thing is, on day 1, prior to the photographs and everything else being taken, the serious stuff happens. So things like electrocardiograms, blood tests, glucose levels, blood pressure, all those different types of tests are taken just to make sure that you are a suitable candidate. I don't think I made that clear enough in the video on day 1. Something that a lot of people have been asking me since those videos have come up is, how much is it to have surgery there? It's €2.50 per graft. So depending on how many grafts you need, it's approximately €2.50 per graft, plus I think 200 or 300 extra euros for their care pack, which includes all the things that I showed you in the video at the end of day 1. So after you saw me in the footage earlier on, I can tell you I got to the airport, I didn't feel great, my temperature was rising, I could feel a little bit of pain, a bit of headache, and I immediately took the ibuprofens that were given to me. I got given a few painkillers to keep me going for the next day or 2, and I felt great. Just as I was getting on the plane, I felt like I was okay, but just before that, I was a little bit worried because I did not feel great. After I got back to London, I expected to go to work after 3 or 4 days of resting, but I've got to tell you, I didn't feel great. Again, I felt pain. I was on painkillers every 6 hours, to the point where I actually contacted the clinic. And can I just say, the clinic are great. You can WhatsApp your interpreter, who will have been there throughout the whole experience, and they will contact you back and say, okay, take these painkillers, do this 12 hours a day, etc., etc. And I got through it through the advice of the doctor. I would say day 7, day 8, I really started to feel better. But before that, I just had pain in my head constantly. It was like, it's really difficult to describe. It's like nerve end pain. So it's not like full on migraine or anything like that. It's just little bits of discomfort, but constantly, a bit like how it was during the surgery. Again, I think this is probably because it's the second surgery. I certainly didn't feel this on the first time round. The first time round, I think I was okay after about 3 or 4 days because I stayed in Istanbul and I went round seeing all these sites. So I definitely expected to be back at work, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was too in too much discomfort. So to anyone who is considering having surgery, make sure you have at least a week post surgery off work so you don't need to go back in case you feel any pain. Certainly, the cold as well in England in November doesn't help with the pain. The cold actually makes it feel worse. I've been given post-operative instructions by ASMED. This is something that they didn't give last year, but it's quite handy. It gives you an idea of when you can start doing things again. So, for example, don't go back to work for 7 days. Be careful while sneezing. I'm not quite sure how. No swimming for the first month. No sexual activity for the first week. No sports for the first month. No woolly hat for the first week. Sleeping with your neck pillow for the first 10 days. I've got to say I didn't do that. I ditched the neck pillow after about 5 days. No hair pieces for the first year, etc., etc. So you can see it goes on, and any sort of questions you might have at this stage definitely will be answered here. And if not, like I say, the communication after your surgery, no matter where you are in the world, they're more than willing to answer your WhatsApp messages or however you want to contact them. So I definitely fully endorse them for their post-op care. My next video will be in around 6 or 7 weeks time. So I want to make a video about hair, but not necessarily about my hair, but just about hair in general and about how we can change our diets to help with hair growth and to strengthen the hair that we already have. So watch out for that, and thanks for watching all 3 videos, including this one. I'll catch you on the next one.